Some creatures on Tyria are resilient because they can survive in desolate landscapes. Others are strong because they are equipped with fantastic weaponry to fight off foes. And some still are fearsome because they possess a temperament that drives them to attack and protect. The Devourers of Tyria are all three of these things, creatures that have adapted to thrive in the barren wastelands and open plains, even lands touched by dragon corruption and ravaged by war. Devourers are arthropods, a term given to creatures that possess an exoskeleton, a jointed body, and jointed legs. They have 6 legs and 2 tails that arch up over their backs and are equipped with stingers. Depending on the type of devourer, these stingers can have different effects. Some devourers, such as the lash-tailed devourer, can poison their foes, and others, like the arid devourer, cause bleeding from the wounds their tails inflict. The frontmost 2 legs of a devourer are slightly different, ending in hook-like appendages. The devourers walk with these claws held off the ground, and can use them to both attack or to dig into the earth. They are covered in very fine, tactile hairs that pick up on movement and changes in the devourer's environment. It is believed these hairs aid the devourer to navigate when they are burrowing underground, ensuring the devourer can spring up precisely where it intends to. Devourers eat a multitude of things. It's this indiscriminate diet that has led them to survive in the harshest of habitats. In fact, most devourers are carrion eaters, feasting on the corpses and detritus left behind on the battlefields of Tyria. Some devourers can even leech the life force from other creatures unlucky enough to get too close. These are parasitic devourers, and they don't need to touch their prey to feast on their energy. Devourers vary only a little between habitats, mainly in their colouring or the shape of their claws and stingers. In the arid Maguma wastes, the devourers are vibrant red or sandy greys, able to blend in with the rocks and stones scattered over the landscape. These arid devourers can go for weeks with very little food or water, capable of surviving in the blistering heat. Elsewhere, in the open plains of Ascalon, devourers' coloration tends more towards browns and yellow. Some devourers are speckled or mottled in appearance, which makes it easier for them to camouflage themselves in the dappled light under these trees. On some rare occasions, devourers are born with very pale white colouring. These albino devourers may be excluded from the group because they are so distinctive, or may have trouble fending for themselves when they stand out so much. But some have fostered close bonds to others, such as Frostbite the devourer has to a ranger called Rox. Rox speaks highly of this little devourer, noting his apparent high intelligence and quick reactions. Devourers reproduce by laying eggs. The female devourers build nests on the ground, and their bright pink oval-shaped eggs are laid in clusters. The largest females, called queens, can be responsible for laying dozens of eggs in quick succession, and these eggs will incubate in the warmth of their surroundings until they hatch. The nests are built from scraps and detritus, and even contain the mangled remains of creatures when broken open. In some of these nests appear the twisted corpses of other devourers. Perhaps female devourers are similar to other arthropods, and kill their mates when they are no longer needed. When the young devourers hatch, they are immediately ready to take on the world. Although their exoskeleton may be a little softer, and their claws a little weaker than their mothers', their curiosity for the environment is just as strong. Sometimes devourer eggs are useful even before they hatch. The Charr in particular use the eggs for food as much as hatching fearsome pets. Here in the plains of Ashford, Drotot Lashtail and his cub apprentices are gathering eggs for use by the citadel. Most will be hatched into the best devourers available, but there are so many nests here, there is an abundance of eggs. Lashtail's method is simple. He annoys the devourers until they are forced to leave and then pillages the nests. He has erected devices all around this cave in which they nest, and once activated, these contraptions play a sound that the females cannot abide. They attack the devices, leaving the nests open for the Charr to collect their spoils. Devourers have a special relationship with the Charr. The Charr were the first race known to actually tame devourers, and for a long while these creatures have been used not only as fierce combatants in war, but as loyal, ferocious pets. Here in the Silver Wastes, Solus the Outlier is a Charr working to produce oil from the desert plants found in the area. He is aided by his beloved pet Skits. Skits helps to defend his processors from the Mordrim that plague the area, and despite the battles raging on in the nearby fortresses, Skits keeps the wolves and husks away. Solus has built a friend for Skits, a mechanical devourer called Chomps, and the pair are inseparable. The ability for Skits to bond with this machine speaks volumes for the Devourer's social structure. These creatures are able to work together when threatened to protect their homes. And here in the shadow of the Black Citadel, trained Devourers are burrowing and searching for treasure, using their keen senses to tunnel through the water-sodden ground of Legaicus Notos to find old human artifacts for their trainer, Petrus Crimsonhack. Crimsonhack praises their loyalty and states that all he need do for the Devourers to search for treasure is show them what he's looking for. The Devourer's keen eyesight and drive to dig does the rest. The alliances between Charr and Devourer are likely a relationship built on mutual trust and respect. The Charr know the Devourers they train have the capacity to be vicious, and recognise the importance of looking out for their safety as much as the Devourers look out for the Charr. Here in Iron Marches, there is a dedicated training ground for new war Devourers. Presided over by Sentinel Whiptail, Devourers are hatched via incubation in special domes, and trained on dummies until they learn discipline and tenacity. They make the dangerous trek through Mordrim and Flame Legion infested land to a new home in the Brandwatch encampment, where they await excursions into the Brand. The fight to eradicate the influence of dragon corruption would not nearly be as effective if the Charr did not have the Devourers fighting by their side. Yet once the Devourers step into the Brand, they encounter very familiar foes. The Elder Dragon Kralkotoric has been able to corrupt some Devourers into minions and dragon champions. Kralkotoric's crystals permeate their bodies and turn them into glowing fiends that attack without discrimination. The interesting thing about these Devourers is that they seem able to reproduce, laying nests that look near identical to that of their non-corrupted kin. This leads to an ever-expanding force of dragon minions that spread over this section of Ascalon and pose a real threat to the peaceful settlements nearby. The Devourers and Charr struggle to cleanse Ascalon from this dragon-inflicted chaos, even if it means destroying these unfortunate Devourers too. Whether it's defending their territory on the sand dunes of Drytop or fighting side by side in battle, Devourers make a dangerous enemy, and their propensity to adapt to hardship stands them in good stead to survive for centuries to come. No doubt the more of Tyria that is explored, the more of these fantastic creatures we will see, scuttling across the plains or waiting patiently for their next meal.